in the golden heart of an African savanna, where the baobab trees whispered secrets to the wind, lived a kind young woman named Salima. Her laughter was soft like morning dew, and her hands were always busy helping her neighbors, feeding the old and weaving colorful baskets that told stories of her ancestors. People in her village often said Salima's kindness could calm a storm. One bright morning, a group of travelers arrived from a neighboring village. Among them was Bakari, a strong, respectful young man who had come seeking a wife. He watched as Salima served water to the guests, her face glowing in the sunlight. When he spoke, his voice was calm but sure. "I have traveled far, but I think my journey ends here. I have found the woman I've been looking for." The elders blessed their union, and soon Salima was married. Her heart was full of joy and hope, but deep inside, her mother whispered warnings. "Be gentle, my child, but remember kindness must be met with gratitude." Salima didn't understand then how heavy those words would become. When she reached Bakari's village, drums echoed through the hills. The villagers sang, children danced, and women ululated in celebration. But not everyone was happy. In the shadows of the crowd stood Mama Asha, Bakari's mother, a woman known for her sharp tongue and proud heart. Her eyes were cold as she watched her son bring home his new bride. That first night, as Salima prepared a meal, Mama Asha sat silently, arms folded. When Salima placed a steaming bowl before her, the old woman frowned. "Did I ask for this?" she snapped. "Do you think I eat like a stranger? Where is the spice, the taste of home?" Salima bowed her head, humbly replying, "Forgive me, Mama. I'll learn your ways." But Mama Asha only turned away, muttering, "We'll see if your kindness lasts." Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Salima rose before dawn to fetch water, cleaned the compound, and prepared food for the family. Yet, no matter what she did, Mama Asha found fault. "You called this porridge, it's too thick. You called this sweeping. Look at the dust under the stool. You call yourself a wife. You can't even please your husband's mother." Bakari tried to defend her, but Mama Asha's words were poison. "You are blinded by beauty," she told her son. "This girl will bring nothing but shame to our home." And though Bakari loved Salima deeply, he was torn between his mother's harsh voice and his wife's silent tears. One evening, when the crimson sunset spread across the sky, Salima sat by the well. The wind danced through her hair as she whispered a prayer. "Spirits of the ancestors, give me strength, teach me patience." A soft breeze brushed her cheek, as if to say, "You are not alone," but patience can only last so long. For deep within the old woman's heart, jealousy was growing like a creeping vine. Mama Asha began to plot a way to break Salima's spirit once and for all. As the seasons turned, the winds over the savannah grew hotter, and so did the bitterness in Mama Asha's heart. Her son Bakari loved Salima more with every passing day, praising her cooking, her kindness, and the peace she brought into their home. But to Mama Asha, every act of love was an insult. She would sit outside the hut, grinding maize with slow, angry hands. "He doesn't even remember who raised him," she would mutter to the neighbors. "This girl has bewitched my son. She smiles, and he forgets his mother." The whispers spread through the village like wildfire. Some women pitied Salima. Others joined in the gossip, saying, "A wife who wins a man's heart so easily must have used charms." Salima heard the rumors, but she stayed silent. Instead, she worked harder, rising before dawn to fetch firewood, sharing her food with the poor, and bringing gifts to her mother-in-law. One morning, Salima woke early to prepare breakfast. She heard Mama Asha coughing harshly from her room. Concerned, she hurried in with water and herbs. "Mama," she said softly, "please take this. It will soothe your throat." But Mama Asha slapped the bowl away, spilling the herbs across the floor. "Poison," she screamed. "You think I don't know your tricks? You want to kill me, so my son will be yours forever." The noise brought Bakari running. "Mother, stop this madness," he cried. "Salima would never harm you." But the old woman turned her anger toward him. "You defend her again. You are no longer my son." Salima's heart shattered. She dropped to her knees, tears glistening in her eyes. "I would never hurt you, Mama. I only wanted to help." But Mama Asha turned away. "Save your tears. They are the tears of a snake." After that day, Mama Asha refused to eat anything Salima cooked. She demanded that Bakari eat with her separately, whispering venom into his ears every night. Slowly, doubt began to creep into Bakari's heart. He started coming home late, avoiding Salima's gaze. One evening, as the moon rose over the village, Salima sat alone by the fire. She could hear the drums of a distant celebration, laughter, joy, music, everything her home no longer had. She held a piece of her wedding cloth, now worn and faded, and whispered, "What have I done to deserve this pain?" Just then, an old woman from the village approached. It was Naya, a wise healer known for her kindness. She placed a gentle hand on Salima's shoulder. "My child," she said softly, "the good are often tested by the wicked. Do not let bitterness enter your heart. Let your kindness be your shield." Salima nodded weakly, tears streaming down her cheeks. "But how long must I endure?" "As long as the truth hides in the shadows," Nia replied. "You must keep your heart pure, for the light will find you when you least expect it." Those words stayed with Salima. From that night, she stopped trying to please Mama Asha and instead prayed for her. Every dawn, she stood at the edge of the village, whispering to the rising sun, "Let peace find this home again." But peace was still far away. Mama Asha, consumed by envy, was preparing something far darker, a lie so cruel it would turn the entire village against Salima. The morning sun rose over the savannah, painting the sky in orange and gold. The village of Bakari stirred awake to the sound of goats bleating and women pounding millet. But inside Bakari's compound, there was no peace, only whispers and cold silence. For weeks, Mama Asha had been weaving her wicked plan, like a spider waiting for the right moment to trap its prey. Her jealousy had turned into something darker, hatred that burned hotter than the African sun. One night, when the moon was full, Mama Asha sneaked into the granary where the family's maize and groundnuts were stored. She tipped over a clay pot, scattering the grain across the floor, then poured oil over it, making it look like someone had spoiled the harvest. Her lips curled into a cruel smile. The next morning, she screamed loud enough for the whole village to hear. "My food, my harvest, someone has ruined it. Spirits, curse the thief." People came running, men, women, even children. Salima hurried from the kitchen, frightened. "Mama, what happened?" she asked. Mama Asha's finger shot out like a spear. "You," she shouted. "You did this. You want to destroy my food, to destroy me." The crowd gasped. Bakari rushed forward. "Mother, that's impossible. Salima would never." But Mama Asha cut him off, her voice trembling with fake sorrow. "I saw her, Bakari. I saw her in the night, sneaking into the granary. Ask your neighbors." They heard the door creak. The villagers murmured. Some looked at Salima with pity, others with suspicion. Salima's heart raced. "No, Mama, please. I swear by the ancestors, I did not do this." But her words fell on deaf ears. Mama Asha collapsed to the ground, wailing dramatically. "The spirits will punish her. She has cursed our home." That evening, the village elders gathered. The air was heavy with tension as they sat around the fire. Salima stood before them, trembling but calm. "Elders," she said softly, "I am innocent. The gods know my heart." One of the elders, an old man named Kofi, stroked his beard. "If you are innocent, may the spirits reveal the truth. But if you are guilty, no prayer will save you." Mama Asha pretended to weep beside Bakari. "My son, she has brought shame to our house. Send her away before the ancestors curse us all." Bakari's face was pale with confusion. He looked at his wife, then at his mother. "Salima, I want to believe you. But there is so much talk, so many whispers." Salima's eyes filled with tears. "You were my world, Bakari. Do you not know my heart?" He turned away, unable to speak. The decision was made. The elders ordered Salima to leave the compound until the truth could be proven. That night, under a sky full of stars, Salima walked alone out of the village, carrying only a small bundle of clothes. She didn't look back, not at the home she built, not at the husband who doubted her, not at the mother-in-law whose cruelty had cast her out. She followed the sound of the river, her tears blending with the cool night breeze. And as the moon followed her path, she whispered, "If the truth is hidden, may the earth itself speak for me." What no one knew was that the spirits of the land had already begun to stir, and soon they would bring justice in a way no one could ignore. The night swallowed Salima as she wandered beyond the safety of her village. Crickets sang in the tall grass, and the distant hoot of an owl echoed like a warning. Her bare feet pressed against the cool earth, but her heart burned with sorrow. She had no family here, no home, no friend, only the stars to keep her company. She followed the faint sound of running water until she reached the River of Echoes, a place the elders had long warned children never to wander near after dark. They said it was where spirits came to whisper the truth of men's hearts. Salima knelt by the riverbank, her reflection trembling in the moonlight. "Ancestors," she whispered, voice breaking, "I have done no wrong. Yet I am cast away. If there is justice in your world, show me the way." The wind shifted. The water rippled, though there was no fish, no breeze strong enough to move it. Then, from beneath the mist, a gentle hum rose, soft at first, then growing stronger, harmonizing with the rhythm of the river. Salima's eyes widened as glowing lights began to form faint orbs that hovered above the water like tiny suns. The spirits had heard her cry, "Child of kindness." A voice echoed, both near and far. "You have been wronged, but you must not let hatred take root. The truth sleeps in the shadows, and only patience will wake it." Salima bowed her head. "But how can I return? They believe the lies." "Do not return yet," the voice replied. "The river will guide your justice. Serve, heal, and wait, for the day of reckoning will come. Then, as suddenly as it began, the light vanished, and the river fell silent. Only a faint shimmer remained on Salima's skin, a mark of the spirit's blessing. In the following days, she found shelter in a nearby village. The people there, moved by her gentleness, welcomed her. She helped heal their sick, taught their children songs of peace, and wove baskets so beautiful they seemed touched by the divine. The villagers began to whisper, "The woman from the river brings blessings wherever she goes." But back in Bakari's village, the blessings had vanished. Crops began to wither, and livestock fell ill. Strange winds swept through the fields at night, and even the elders grew fearful. Mama Asha, once proud and loud, now sat restless, haunted by dreams each night. She saw Salima standing by the river, her eyes glowing with light. In her dreams, Salima said, "The truth cannot stay buried forever, Mama." The guilt began to eat at Mama Asha's heart. She stopped sleeping, stopped eating, and one morning she woke with trembling hands. Bakari, worried, asked, "Mother, what is wrong?" Her voice cracked. "The spirits are angry, my son. I feel their eyes upon me." Bakari frowned. "Spirits." But Mama Asha turned away, weeping softly. "I did a terrible thing. I wronged an innocent woman." Her confession had begun, but she had no idea that the river's power had already set things in motion. As the rains returned and thunder rolled across the plains, the river of echoes began to swell. The truth was about to rise with the storm, and no lie would survive it. The rains had come, heavy and unending. The river of echoes roared through the plains, washing away dust, lies, and guilt alike. Thunder cracked across the sky like the voice of an angry god, and lightning flashed over the huts of Bakari's village. Inside her home, Mama Asha trembled. Her body was weak, but her spirit carried a heavier burden, guilt. Every drop of rain outside seemed to whisper her crime. "You wronged her. You wronged Salima." Bakari sat beside his mother, worry etched across his face. "Mother, speak to me. What did you mean when you said you wronged her?" Mama Asha's eyes filled with tears. "My son, I let jealousy blind me. Salima did nothing. I destroyed our food and blamed her. I made her leave this home. And now the spirits punish us." Bakari froze, horror spreading through his chest. What have you done?" The old woman bowed her head, her tears mixing with the rain leaking through the roof. "I have sinned against the kindest soul the gods ever made." The next morning, as the storm began to calm, Bakari left the village. He followed the swollen river, desperate to find Salima. For days he walked through thick mud, across flooded fields, sleeping beneath trees, guided by nothing but regret and the memory of her laughter. At last, he reached a small village on the river's edge. Children were playing by the water, and among them stood Salima, her dress flowing, her smile gentle. She looked stronger, radiant, as though the pain of her past had been turned into grace. When she saw him, her smile faded. "Bakari." He dropped to his knees in the mud. "Salima, forgive me. I doubted you when I should have stood by you. My mother has confessed. She begs for your mercy, as do I." Salima stood silent, her heart torn between love and sorrow. She looked up at the sky, where the clouds were breaking, letting the golden sun pour through. "I begged the spirits for truth," she said softly, "and they have answered. but forgiveness. Forgiveness is not mine alone to give. She walked to the river and knelt. Ancestors, you who see all, if her heart is truly repentant, let peace return to our homes. The wind shifted, warm and calm. The river shimmered with a faint golden light. The spirits had spoken. The curse was lifted. Bakari bowed his head in gratitude. Thank you, my love. Come home with me. Salima looked at him with gentle eyes. Home. My home is wherever truth and kindness live. If your mother truly changes, then perhaps one day I will return. And so she did. Weeks later, when Mama Asha recovered, she walked herself to the river of echoes. There she fell to her knees before Salima and wept. Forgive me, my daughter. I let my pride destroy what was pure. Salima took her hands and lifted her gently. Let the past rest with the river, Mama. Let us build peace instead. From that day onward, Mama Asha treated Salima as the daughter she never deserved. Their home became a place of laughter again, and travelers passing through the village often spoke of a woman whose kindness tamed even the hardest of hearts. And as the sun set over the plains, the wind carried an old saying through the trees. One every villager remembered: the heart that repays kindness with cruelty will one day kneel before the truth.